The Hollow Pines Hotel sits buried deep in the woods of Vermont, tucked at the end of a winding dirt road no longer marked by signs. Moss clings to its decaying shingles. The once grand structure, now half swallowed by forest, had not had guests in over 40 years. At least, not living ones. Locals say the trees whisper at night around Hollow Pines. They say the building changes shape when you're not looking, the hallways stretching into infinity. The only remaining advertisement is a broken sign barely visible through the underbrush, the red letters faded and peeling. Hollow Pines Hotel, founded 1873. But the letters scratched beneath it are fresher. Leave while you can. It was supposed to be a getaway. After the death of his father, Eric Whitlock thought bringing his wife Amanda and their two children, 16-year-old Elise and 10-year-old Miles, out of the city for a rustic vacation would be a welcome distraction. Eric had inherited the Hollow Pines Hotel from a grandfather he barely remembered. According to the will, it had been in the family for generations but was left abandoned after a series of unfortunate events. Eric saw potential. Maybe it could be restored, flipped, or even reopened. The road leading to Hollow Pines was barely navigable, and the woods surrounding them thickened with every mile. Elise complained about the lack of cell service while Miles stared out the window at the moss-covered trees, whispering to himself. "Almost there," Eric said, tapping the steering wheel. "Just wait until you see it. It's huge." They rounded a bend, and the hotel came into view. It stood like a forgotten relic from another time. 4 stories tall, with rotting balconies, broken windows, and a spire like a finger pointing to the sky. Despite its condition, there was something regal about it, like a sleeping giant. Amanda shivered. "I didn't think it would look so haunted." "Just need some love," Eric said. But as they stepped out of the car, the wind seemed to sigh. The hotel had been built by Elijah Whitlock in 1873, a wealthy industrialist obsessed with the occult. According to family journals stored in a locked room they would discover later, Elijah believed the land Hollow Pines was built on held a spiritual nexus, a convergence point where the veil between the living and the dead was thin. He designed the hotel like a temple. Hidden symbols were etched into the foundation. Mirrors hung opposite each other to reflect and trap spirits. Rooms were placed in specific geometries to channel energy. It worked. Too well. Strange deaths began in the early years. Guests would vanish. Staff would become violently ill. A child reportedly walked into a wall that wasn't there and emerged from a different room, 5 years later, unchanged. Elijah was found hanging in the tower spire, eyes wide open, a mirror shattered at his feet. His wife, Cordelia, inherited the hotel and continued his work. On the first night, Miles began talking to someone in room 311. "There's a girl who wants to play," he told his mother at breakfast. Amanda smiled nervously. "An imaginary friend?" "No. She's wearing old clothes and she's cold. She said her name is Agnes." Elise heard whispers through the vents. The temperature in her room dropped to freezing despite the summer heat. Her mirror would fog up, even when she hadn't used the shower. Eric, meanwhile, became obsessed with renovating. He uncovered the original blueprints and discovered symbols etched in the walls. Something about them felt right, like he had seen them before in dreams. That night, Eric stood in the grand ballroom and whispered to the shadows, "I am home." Over the next few days, the Whitlocks began seeing people, not clearly, just shadows. A man in a top hat pacing the halls. A woman brushing her hair on the 3rd floor. A bellboy pushing a rusted luggage cart. Amanda discovered the hotel's old guest book hidden beneath the reception desk. The last entry was from 1984. "We cannot leave. The hotel won't let us. It feeds on grief." One night, the family heard piano music echoing from the ballroom. Eric descended the stairs to find a party frozen in time, guests dressed in 1920s attire, dancing in slow motion. When he blinked, they were gone, but his hand clutched a drink that hadn't been there before. Elise found the journals in a hidden compartment behind the library wall. They traced the Whitlock family's descent into madness. Elijah's writings revealed his belief that the hotel would grant eternal life, at a cost. The price was the souls of his descendants. Each generation had to return. Each generation had to feed the house. Eric was the last male heir. The hotel wanted him. And it wanted the children to stay. Miles's imaginary friend, Agnes, began appearing more often. Amanda started seeing her too, a pale girl with black eyes and a broken neck, watching from the stairs. Agnes had died in 1912, trapped in the dumbwaiter shaft. Her mother was a maid, and after her daughter's death, she poisoned the entire third floor before leaping from the roof. Agnes wanted a playmate. And she wanted Miles to come with her. Amanda began dreaming in symbols. She walked through corridors lined with mirrors that showed her reflection aging rapidly, decaying, becoming ash. She tried to leave, but the forest wouldn't let them. The road looped back. The car engine died. Even daylight seemed thinner now. Rooms changed location. Hallways that once ended at the stairwell now led to brick walls. The hotel was alive. Eric, fully possessed by Elijah's spirit, began drawing the sigils from memory. He carved one into the ballroom floor and began chanting in tongues. Elise and Amanda planned an escape. They learned the only way out was to complete the original ritual. And then destroy the mirror in the spire, the source of the spiritual tether. But they would need to break the bloodline. As Miles was drawn deeper into the walls, following Agnes, singing lullabies, Elise set the library on fire. Amanda confronted Eric in the ballroom and begged him to let them go. He didn't respond. He only whispered, "It's not done with us." Amanda struck the mirror in the spire with the family's ancestral knife, shattering it into dust. The hotel screamed. Rooms imploded. Ghosts shrieked and vanished. The building began to collapse in on itself. Amanda carried Miles, Elise following, as they escaped through the front door just as the tower fell. The Hollow Pines Hotel burned to ash that night. No bodies were found. No one remembered the road that led to it. But in the woods, if you stand still and listen, you can hear piano music. And sometimes, a small voice asking, "Wanna play?"